Let's talk about caves. I cave all the time. I see something that I know I shouldn't eat and I cave and I just eat it, and it's a big problem I have. Oh, Minecraft caves? Oh. Oh, these guys? Oh, oh, yeah, I might want to learn about that instead of my inabilities to control my inner thoughts. I just want to eat Cheez-Its, okay? So we're going to be talking about these things. Caves in Minecraft. I have night vision, so I can see all the things. So I'm going to be discussing some of the things that I dislike about caves and giving my opinions on how to make them better. What are some things that we can make caves? We're going to make caves great again. First off, they are boring. I'm sitting here floating through these caves right here, and I think that the most frustrating part about caves is that you seen one cave, you seen them all. There are only four, possibly five things that happen underground in the overworld. You got caves, which are these tube-looking things that are underground. You got abandoned mine shafts, which you've been seeing around. You can easily see them because they have the cobwebs in them. You got dungeons, which I just saw one right here. These guys have spawners in them and obviously have the loot inside of those chests. And you got strongholds, which you can see right here. They have the cracked stone brick and mossy stone brick. They are very rare. They have the end portal room inside of them. And this area is really cool because we have not one, not two, but three different dungeons really close to each other, which is a really neat sort of situation. You got a zombie and a skeleton dungeon right here. Look at that. I'm such a nice guy. Here's the seed, and here's also the coordinates if you want to discover this. I guess I have spoiled it. You're not going to discover it for yourself, but you are going to use it if you want this thing here right here. Now, I mentioned four, possibly five things: caves, abandoned mine shafts, strongholds, and dungeons. What would be the fifth thing? Ravines? That's the fifth thing. I said that as a question, but I knew my own answer. Ravines would be my fifth thing, but that's why I was kind of like, maybe? Because it kind of fits in the caves category, and I don't feel like anybody is really caving looking for a ravine, thinking, oh my gosh, finally I found a ravine. So, yeah. But that's it. Boring. Am I right? That is probably the number one thing that I hate about caves, is that you see, like I said before, you see one cave, you see them all. We're going to get on how to fix this a little bit later on in the video. We're going to move, to the fixing category of stuff. The other thing that I have an issue with caves is that everything that is generated, so anything that's procedurally generated, like these, to be honest, I like the procedurally generated stuff. Okay, anytime you got that in Minecraft, I like it. You got villages, in cities, ocean monuments, shipwrecks. I mean, all that stuff is great. I have a feeling, I have this just like internal struggle with specifically the strongholds and the abandoned mine shafts, which we happen to have both of them right here, because they feel so old-fashioned. They feel, and they are, because they're just old. I'm an abandoned mine shaft. I've been in Minecraft since beta, and I don't like you whippersnappers getting on my lawn. Friggin' old-fashioned. Look at it. It's just boring. And compare this to something like the mansion, where with a mansion, here, let me go find one. 4,000 blocks away. Golly, those guys are rare. So here we are inside of a mansion. First off, if you're gonna find one of these in your world, because they are so rare, most likely you have to go talk to a cartographer from a village to get a map to go find the mansion. Right off the bat, that is pretty freaking rad that you have to go through all of that process in order to find a mansion. Inside of the mansion, super dangerous. All sorts of rooms that are very different. The first time I remember finding one of these rooms, I checked every chest to make sure that these darn Minecraft developers didn't hide a totem of undying in a single chest. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know anything because everything was so different and felt so new and fresh. Compare that to an abandoned mine shaft. It's basically the same thing over and over and over. Every once in a while, you'll get a minecart that has a chest chest in it. That's where all of the loot is. And every once in a while, you'll find the center room that is a square with a dirt floor. And then every once in a while, you will find a spawner that has cave spiders in it. Boring! So let's move on to, I've just been a naysayer. I've just been like, I hate this, I hate that. And this will be constructive criticism now, not just criticism. Because now I'm gonna move on into things that I would like to see changed with the caves. Maybe a big cave update. Please, Minecraft, please, cave update, please. I can't pray to you because my mic is in the way. I feel like there needs to be more generation, and whatever type of thing generates, I would love it if it had more of a story like the mansions. This place is burning down. Call the fire brigade. Get out of here, zombie. This place is on fire. One of the things that I feel like would be awesome is that the map that you get from the cartographer to take you to the mansion is such a cool concept. It would be awesome if there were maybe maps inside of item frames around that would take you to specific locations within a world generation, and that would sort of be like the the hidden treasure chests inside of the shipwrecks where you have to get a map to go find the treasure chest. But I would love the map to be like done and fully made out, and you knew exactly where to go inside of this cave system to get to something. Maybe there's like a boss in the way to get to it. That would be so fun to have a specific goal. You know exactly where you're going. You're not just lost, which happens a lot in Minecraft. But I would love that. In fact, I've kind of done, I haven't done the whole map thing, but look at this. I made a little like civilization inside of this ravine, inside of the caves, a new sort of village type of area. That would be awesome, is a living and breathing space underground. Maybe this is just straight up villagers, like villagers just populate this area, and there's a few specific special villager trades that you could get inside of the cave villagers instead of the normal villagers that are in the overworld. Spooky sounds. A civilization in the caves would be awesome. I have really gotten my mind. I'm sort of on this from the piglins. I really want the piglins to be like an actual civilization with villages inside of the nether. And if I can't get that, because, you know, it hasn't been developed yet, maybe we will, maybe we won't, then I want another place to have a town, to have exploration, to have little places that things live and move and stuff. I would love that. Next, let's talk about the caves themselves. Here, I've really just replaced the stone with granite, but let's think of it and let's use our imagination that this is a new cave biome type where everything is granite, and as you move through, you know, you find special granite stuff. Basically, cave biomes would make these tubular caves that you see all the time interesting and different. And maybe, you know, inside of this granite biome type, oh, fantastic, I could find maybe a specific plant or a flower or an ore, something like that, that is really only in this biome, just exactly the same as biomes in the overworld have specific resources. Next, talking about caves, is I wish that caves were a lot more open. So I've kind of just created this whole area right here. It shows that caves are just really too claustrophobic, in my opinion. I want big, large, huge open spaces to walk around and probably put builds inside of so that I don't have to get rid of all of the stone myself by hand. If you were walking, I mean, this just does not exist in Minecraft right now. These huge, big open areas. I added some fire just so you could kind of see what's going on in these big areas. But this would be the most amazing place to put a house. Like, set down a place here and live. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I mean, just currently look at what we have with caves. The biggest open areas is like this, where one cave ran into another cave. You can't put a house in that. You have a few big open spots. In fact, I saw one earlier that was like one of the biggest open spots yet, like this. Biggest open spot yet. It's maybe like 15 blocks big. I'm talking about like a huge area, like close to 100 blocks. That would be fantastic to actually build, move, and not be claustrophobic under the ground. I mean, these ravines are also, you know, big areas, but they're still not wide enough. They're tall enough, not wide enough. I need fat ravines. You gotta put some meat on those bones, ravines. Finally, rounding out my list of cave update things is that I would love to see new mobs. I mean, who doesn't like to see new mobs? Maybe cave-specific mobs like blind crickets or something. Like, I remember I went on a cave tour when I was a child and they had blind crickets. They were like albino blind crickets. It's probably the dumbest idea I've ever had. I'm sorry. But definitely new mobs and new plant types. I really feel like caves should have some type of specialty thing inside of them that is more growth related, plant related, maybe moss. A moss on the edge and sides of blocks. That would be a lot of fun. Anything to just break up the monotony. I mean, these things are so boring. So boring. You know, it's not boring. Subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' like, a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe, like I just said, to catch future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Get out of here. Scram.